Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. It's been a very long night, maybe not a good night for many because of the rain, the storms, the hail, the flooding is now the biggest concern, and that was my expectation last night. I said we're kind of moving away once we got into the midnight hour, away from maybe the wind damage, and now we're talking about serious flooding concerns. All these little burgundy boxes, as they were, we call them polygons, are related to a flash flood warning that lasts until 8:15 this morning. Now, if you're thinking, wait a minute, it's like only 6:40. I know. We've got quite a ways to go, and these would include Anderson County, Morgan County, Scott County, Campbell County, also into Fentress County. That lasts until 6:15 Central Time or 7:15 Eastern Time. Now, Crossville, you've been under a flash flood warning for hours. Going back to last night, it was the goalposts kept getting moved for Cumberland County, but now it expires, or it is set to expire now at 6:30 Central Time. So our friends in Cumberland County still dealing with flash flooding, and we're talking about 1.5 inches, in some cases 2 inches, in some cases 3 inches of rain in just a short period of time, and that's what's causing so many headaches. So that's what we're most concerned about here. Outside of those areas, we have flood advisories for much of the rest of East Tennessee, but it's been crazy. If you need to see some evidence of that, let's take a look. These are the actual rainfall totals that we're getting in some areas in purple to the west, over 6.5 inches. Crazy rain train, right? Now, some of these are Doppler estimated. Athens, 2.5, Tellico Plains, and these are just, again, a good template. It's not going to be, it's good guidance as to what's fallen over the last 24 hours. But much of this falling just in the last 12. Some areas 3.7, La Follette 2.7, areas in Union County about 3.2. And you may have a rain gauge that's similar or maybe very different. And that's okay. But I'm most concerned about turning around and not drowning, that type of thing. We want to talk about finding an alternative way to get to work or school if there's flooding roads. If the roads are flooded, it's best that you kind of turn around and look away. I want to come back on camera and say good morning to you if you're on the call. I have the absolute updated rainfall totals for Knoxville to give you a perspective. Clearly, they have varied across the area. We have picked up a record 1.97 was the official total as of the midnight hour yesterday. So for yesterday, McGee-Tyson picked up 1.97 inches of rain. That obliterated the old daily rainfall record. And yes, there is a daily rainfall record for every day of the year. But the record rainfall for yesterday was 1.23. We hit 1.97. That record, by the way, goes back to Ulysses S. Grant era, 1876. It's been on the books for 148 years. Bye-bye. It went. So now we're going to put 2024 there for the 8th of April. Let's say 8th of May. Lost track of time. 8th of May. That was yesterday. Today's the 9th. But you'll notice the rain, obviously a story. We're now up to about 3.5 inches for the month, and we picked up 0.63 since midnight. So if you add the 1.97 from yesterday, officially 0.63 through 6 a.m., we're now looking well over 4 inches of rain for the month. And it's just mind-boggling, right? We're still talking about a lot of rain that's still coming into play. Love to know what you're seeing or thinking. Fred says, good morning, David. He's got 64 degrees with rain and thunder in Maryville. I'm also on YouTube. If you've got a comment, want to note what you're seeing, let me know. I'd love to magnify your voice because I do know this will be a fluid situation. The heavier rains are going to be focused in the morning. We will be slowing it down for the afternoon. Won't be completely dry everywhere, but we're going to continue to watch the rain maybe slow down. Certainly for the evening, we're going to find scattered clouds. And the next item up for bid will be the fog. We may have some poor visibility now because of low clouds and rain, but tomorrow some of that fog could be patchy and quite dense as we start your Friday morning. Because today, of course, is Thursday, the 9th of May. But we have poor visibility in maybe Wartburg, down to about a mile in McMinn County there in Athens. By the way, it's 6:44. Our current temperature 60s, right? It's still pretty humid. As we'll look at dew points here in a moment. But the humidity will be dropping later tonight. And even though fog develops, we are going to be dropping now to generally upper 50s to near 60 first thing tomorrow morning. I have us down to 59 in the morning tomorrow. But boy, we're in the mid 40s, mid to upper 40s, about 47 come Saturday morning. So you've got some really cool air going to be replacing what we're dealing with at this particular moment. If you're just joining me, we have flood watches officially everywhere in East Tennessee until 8 o'clock this morning. The concern generally is just flooding possible for rivers, creeks, streams. Low-lying areas could have some real issues, so please be mindful of that. But we're going to look more at specifically here on the radar of who has the flash flood warning. We've already examined that briefly, but let's dive into it a little bit more. One little large area that covers Anderson County till 8:15, Campbell County 8:15, Scott County 8:15, and Morgan County. Now, what happens at 8:15? Is this something suddenly the rain's gone? Well, maybe, but there's still going to be some concern that runoff. You're going to still have maybe some water that's rising in spots. Crossville, we mentioned, till 6:30 Central, and Fentress County till 6:15 Central. That translates to 7:15. But clearly, we have a big old green box here in Knox County, which means we're under flood advisory. It may not be quite as bad here because the language that I'm looking here at the app is really 1.5 to 3. I posted it very early this morning, around 5 o'clock. But you'll get a sense that the rainfall amounts have just been off the chart, and it's causing obviously some concern for drivers, as it should be. Just please note that it's not going to necessarily be worried about hail or tornadoes this morning. We're not. We're more concerned about the flooding. Flooding is top of mind today. And as I mentioned, 1.5 to 3 inches of rain has fallen over the last 24 hours. We've already examined that. But as far as the rain situation, this is what we're looking at the moment. So please be extra careful. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by Marco's Pizza. Yes, oh yes, you might be hungry or planning a lunch today. Maybe you're ordering in. Check out marcos.com. They're in Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. These locations are open. If you want to grab a pepperoni magnifico, it's magnificent. They've got some good deals on pizza. They also have a Pizzoli that you might want to try. And while these pictures are awesome, when you order one of these, you're like, wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. For $5.99, it's a really good deal. Check out the new Pizzoli at a Marco's near you. Would love to have you check them out. By the way, they're very, very active in the community, which I will continue to brag about them. They are a corporate sponsor of No Kid Hungry, and they do so many other great things here in our community. By the way, the radar is showing all this moisture still parked right over us. It's all moving from west to east, so if you're not really getting heavy rain yet, Morristown, give it time. If you're not getting heavy rain yet, Newport, it's coming. You can clearly see it's coming. It's been rolling over Etowah and Madisonville over the last hour, and it's trying to work its way to the east. But most of the nasty storms, the ones that we had yesterday, it's going to be shifting further south into places like Alabama, Mississippi. They're under tornado watches for the day today. In fact, Atlanta under a tornado watch until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So if you're driving southward, you're kind of moving back into the fray. You're moving back into the heart of the activity. If you're heading northbound, you're actually moving away. So this is where and how this particular system is behaving. I want to say good morning to you. Robert Payne says good morning. Good to see Robert. Melissa Sills, lots of ponding on the roads. Thank you for that update, because I know a lot of people read these comments. So if you have a weather report and you don't think it's that significant, go ahead and post it, because somebody in your area, whether it be Talbot, whether it be Bybee, wherever you are, some people may find that very, very helpful. But everyone give yourself some extra time to travel this morning. I think that's a good idea. And also, Danny says, good morning, David. Thanks for all you do. Stay safe. Go Vols. And I mentioned, well, Michael Norman says lots of thunder all night long. Not an easy night for sleeping. I can tell you that. I didn't sleep well. I suspect you didn't sleep well, if in fact you are a light sleeper. Clearly, the radar is more active around Chicago. They've got more rain there. I see blue in Wyoming. They still have snow showers there, and some purple areas around Denver and the Rockies are under winter weather advisories. On the 9th of May, yeah, that's what they have. That's what they have. It's still snowing in parts of the Rockies. The cold air is still there. But our concern will be some fog in the morning, tomorrow morning, and it could be locally dense. By the way, there's the total as of 6 a.m., because I'm adding the 1.97 that fell in McGee-Tyson for the day yesterday, plus the 0.63 that occurred since midnight. And that takes us through 6 a.m. in McGee-Tyson. So we're now at 4.07. And that's really interesting, because we're now almost up to the month's level, and it's only the 9th of May. We were concerned, some of us, that we had a dry April. We did. We were 0.81 inches below normal for April. But the tide swings, my friend. I mean, it's like I say, you go to the beach in the afternoon, you're complaining the waves are too big. But if you get to the beach in the morning, you might be complaining the waves are hardly noticeable. I didn't notice anyway. It's low tide, no waves. But now the waves are high, right? We've got a lot of water that's pouring in, and it looks like we're going to have a well above average month, because we have weeks left of May, we still have Mother's Day and, of course, Memorial Day later on this month. I think it's the 27th. By the way, the future rainfall puts a little more of a yellow area today up into places like northern Sevier County, northern Blount County. Some of this may have already fallen, but our concern will continue to be this rain in the morning hours, especially in the morning where we have some concerns. It's 6:50. We're currently at 64 degrees. Pick out your favorite town. Jacksboro, 63. Rockwood, 61. And currently in Crossville, it is 61 degrees. Sun comes up this morning at 6:35, goes to bed at 8:30. We'll look at that here momentarily. But I do want to show you, look at this, the Newport temperature 64. It is still kind of humid. Not is kind of, it is humid. When the dew points are in the 60s, it feels uncomfortable. It's a bad hair day, right? But this will all change once this moisture gets out of here, and then we're going to timeline the humidity in a very graphical way here in mere moments. But I wanted to show you the big picture, show you the winds aren't crazy at this point. They're calm right now in Oak Ridge. But we have a 9-mile-an-hour wind currently in Knoxville, maybe a little stronger in southern sections of McMinn County. Here are the dew points. Yesterday, when we were doing our live stream, we were up to like 68 for a while. If that was, maybe it was yesterday morning. I'm getting all the hours confused. But we were in the upper 60s for a while. So it's now come down a little bit, but you'll really see and feel a difference when these numbers drop into the 40s. When we can drop the dew point temperature by a tune of 15 degrees, it's going to feel much more comfortable. You won't even think or know that we have humidity, but we have it. It's oozing all across the state. Look at this. By midday today, all the green areas would represent stuffy air, but it's starting to dry out north of Nashville by 5 o'clock. So the timing of this has been altered a bit. It's still sticky at Aldridge at 5 o'clock, and there may still be some remnant showers in the Smokies at 5 o'clock today. But the trend, by the drive home, we'll be seeing more sunshine. And once this humidity begins to erode, and it certainly does so by 11 o'clock tonight, that's when the fog might really roll in your town. But the humidity does drop. It will feel better tomorrow. And bearers say it's going to be a delightful day. I can't emphasize how delightful, but very delightful for Mother's Day. Dear mom's going to be thrilled that Mother's Day is going to be glorious, mostly sunny, and very comfortable. In fact, I think there's some brown areas here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, a little area there in western North Carolina, very dry. So we go from one end of the spectrum of green all the way to the brown, right? So the brown is very dry air as we head into Mother's Day. So there's some good news there if that is not your thing. If humidity, humidity is not your thing, it will be changing. But it's just in the next couple of hours by the time we head into tonight and into Friday. Temperatures right now 67 in Jackson, 66 in Nashville. Want to say good morning to you. If you're on YouTube, coming back on here, I believe I have, yes, Marilyn Bell. She says, good morning on YouTube. I see no flooding here near us. That's good, because most of it's been steadily off to your west of I-75. But we usually have a creek that floods, and thankfully all is clear. Great to have that. It's a good report, very helpful report if you are concerned about flooding. Now, Maryland's coming in from the White Pine area, so if you're in White Pine or Morristown, you may not have the concern that some others might. By the way, right now I see a good morning from Angel White. She's on here. And then we got Kelly Hart saying good morning. Carrie, one of my premium members, Carrie Aguilar, saying good morning. Will the storms to the west of Morristown be coming our way? Gradually, yes. May not be as intense, but it will be working its way here. So we'll have possibility of rain right through, heaviest in the morning, and then more widely scattered for the afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on that, Carrie. Crystal says yesterday was no fun in East Morristown. My picture, my comment just went off the map, but she made a comment, and I'll do my best to answer as many of these comments after I am finished. By the way, it's 64 degrees in Knoxville. It is currently 77 in Tupelo. Big difference in temperature from west to east, north to south. It is 63, let's say, for example, in Greensboro. Now, what we're looking at here is not the rain, but only the clouds, and all these cold cloud tops. Or think of this like a loaded car wash sponge, right? When you see blue, it's cold cloud top, but when it's yellow, it's even worse. So it's like wringing out. In some cases, we're getting all that precipitable water that's just dropping overhead, and it's making things very messy this morning. Sunrise and sunset time. The sky may not look like this now, but by the time we hit the sunset, I think it may look like this. Widely scattered clouds for the sunset at 8:30 later this evening. As far as the bus stop, watch out for the puddles and give those bus drivers all the room they need, because they're going to have to get the kids to school in the rain, and of course kids who might be out in the elements. 69 at 10, 77 at 2, so the pickup between 2 and 3:30. Should be in the upper 70s. I did modify the high from 81 to 79. I think with a wet ground, we may have a hard time, many of us, getting out of the 70s today. So just plan on mid to upper 70s for most. There could be some 80s, but again, I think most of us will be in the upper 70s to finish out the day. Here are the headlines here at 6:55. Locally, heavy rain. May not affect Cary and Morristown. May not affect you if you're in, say, White Pine, but it's going to affect other areas, as we mentioned. Anderson County currently under a flash flood warning until 8:15. Patchy dense fog tonight, I think is part of the story. I don't want to just limit it and say it's only going to be in the morning like sunrise, because it could roll in sooner. But spotty rain, less humid on Friday. Best chance of rain on Friday will be in the Smokies. I've got at least a 30-40% chance there, but a 20% chance for Knoxville on Friday. 64 is our current temperature. I mentioned that 9-mile-an-hour wind. The dew point 62, so that ratio gives us a relative humidity at 93% at the moment. Here's your Valley Planner. It's going to take all day to get into the mid-70s. I got a 75 at 1. Most of the rain should be slowing down certainly by 1 p.m., if not sooner, as it slides in and it slides out. But upper 70s today to near 80 with showers and storms and downpours and flooding concerns, as we could very well go from clouds to sunshine where you live today. So it's not going to be all bad as the day wears on. Precipitation chances about at 80%. I know what some of you think, well, it's raining hard now, so it's 100% where I live. Okay, I'm not going to debate that, but I'm just giving you widespread expectations for rain to start. There'll be lesser opportunities or lesser chances of rain, I think, as the day wears on. Storm Prediction Center, we're looking at some colors that are enhanced now, not here like it was yesterday, but it's in Dallas. It's down toward Atlanta. So you can see that little area, that little strip of orange today is focused in northern Louisiana, central sections of Mississippi, and central sections of Alabama and Georgia. So these are the hot spots where there could be wind damage, down trees, even some tornadoes. That's a possibility. Also, some scattered severe storms include Charlotte, if you're traveling there, or Washington, D.C. or Richmond, if you have family there. Those are the hot spots today, while we're just kind of on the periphery, right on the edge of isolated severe storms. So we've got some dark green areas that include Knoxville. So that best chance will be here in the morning hours as the energy slides to the east. By the way, the risk for severe weather isn't gone tomorrow all across the lower 48. It moves to Jacksonville, Florida, and parks it over Savannah and maybe toward Gainesville, Tallahassee. There's some isolated severe storm potential for Destin and for Myrtle Beach. It looks like we've got even some opportunities for thunderstorms in the Smokies tomorrow. I think that's probably a fair bet. I think a good bet. The better chance for rain tomorrow, 30 to 40% will be in the Smokies, 20% chance for the Valley. And last but not least, Saturday, a little hot spot. Looks like southwest Texas, well south of Midland. They could very well find some isolated severe storms there. And if we get some drizzle on Saturday, and I mean drizzle, I would be surprised, but that's still in the offering. The Storm Prediction Center thinks there's the risk for some thunder Saturday from Columbus to Pittsburgh back towards, say, Charleston, West Virginia, and maybe, just maybe, Jellicoe and Morristown. That's how that could be interpreted. By the way, the Futurecast shows this front coming in. That's what's going to trigger the drop in humidity once it begins to leave us. So here's 12 noon. Still have some scattered showers, but by the time we hit the afternoon, like, say, 3 or 4 o'clock, notice where that front is. It's draped across the heart of the valley, and it's pushing all that rain off to the east. So we will find a dry, I think the drive home is going to be much better than this morning, because you have to navigate through the rain showers at this particular time. Got a couple of notes from you. Sherry says, may God bless you, keep you safe. Thank you, Sherry. Hope everyone's driving safely today. We haven't said it, but I'll say it. Turn around, don't drown. That we say that all the time in the weather community. It's a nice little cliche, but it saves lives. It really does. If you put that in your head, next time you encounter a flooded road, and I don't care if you're driving in an SUV or just like a four-door. Whatever you're driving, make sure that you don't think I'm impervious. I'm invincible. I can drive through this flooded road because I grew up here. I know this road like the back of my hand. You don't know if there's a sinkhole going on underneath that water. It's best to just turn around and find another way to get to the destination. It's not worth it. And then you put the first responders in jeopardy, right? They have to come find you. They have to come rescue you, put their life in danger. It's not worth it. When you have flooded roads, it's just not a good thing to drive through. Kelly says still thundering and raining in the Cumberland County area. And Wanda Poe says, hope everyone has great Mom's Day. We got Mother's Day coming up, and we want to get to that forecast here. It is 6:59. I want to get you done here at the top of the hour, maybe a minute late, but you can see rain still moving into Atlanta tomorrow morning. But we'll be dealing with some fog, I think, at that particular time. And if we get some spotty rain, it's going to come down from the north on Friday, comes in like so, and then collects in the Smokies where they have the better chance of some rain on Friday. Saturday, maybe some drizzle. I don't think we'll find much more than that. It's going to be a pretty weak system on Saturday, so we'll look for a mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, but a delightful day just in time for Mother's Day. That's still yet to come, with temperatures on Mother's Day in the mid-70s with no humidity. I mean, that's like room temperature, Mom. I think you'll be pleased. By the way, the Futurecast has a different solution with this rain, but it does put most of it in the fray this morning. So there's 9 o'clock. Got some downpours. 9:30, looks like it's moving into the Newport area. And as we saw clearly yesterday, timing is not these models' best suit when you have these slow-moving systems, or if the fact that in this case, this just flared up yesterday late morning. So this rain trending now toward the Smokies by 10:30 there. By the time we hit noontime, there's still some scattered storms, maybe, in red south of Morristown, 2 o'clock. But many of us will finish the day, I think, in the upper 70s to round out your Thursday afternoon. Maybe some of us flirt with 80, but generally it's going to be still sticky until probably 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock tonight, most of us will say, it feels a little better. Yeah, I've been outside. Have you taken the dog outside? Yeah, it feels great. 11 o'clock tonight. And certainly the fog, as it might potentially roll in, may be something that's greeting you on your Friday morning. But Friday, you can see spots of rain coming through right through the 3 o'clock hour on Friday afternoon. So that's the way things are shaping up. By the way, it's 7:01. Let's get to the forecast. Today, 79, showers and storms. We can anticipate downpours if you haven't had one already. And there is still the concern that we could find some localized flooding. Winds about 5 to 15 plus. High temperature 79 in Crossville, Wartburg, Oak Ridge. 78 is my expectation for Newport. If you're traveling today, they will be warmer in Nashville, about 85. 86 for Columbia, South Carolina, and 81 for Greensboro, North Carolina. Tonight we're down to 59 scattered clouds. That should not say humidity. That should say less humid. I should put the word less. But anyway, patchy dense fog. I dropped my Y. Boy, I was in a hurry. But patchy dense fog, a possibility tonight. We're down to 57 in Oak Ridge, 59 Knoxville, Maryville, and looking for a low in La Follette tonight around 56 degrees, so it will feel a little more comfortable. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. 73 on Friday, 72 now for Saturday, and 75 for Sunday. The coolest morning, make note, will come Saturday morning when we're in the mid to upper 40s. It's still pretty cool relative to averages because the normal low now is 55, so a 50 come Mother's Day morning is 5 degrees below average. I think it's just going to be absolutely pleasant for Mother's Day, but we'll round up more showers and storms coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, so there's still a lot going on. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's our forecast. By the way, if you haven't picked up the Captain Accurate Weather app, I want to brag on this app because it's been keeping folks informed and in the know. Simply from the fact that we've been getting these alerts from severe thunderstorm warnings over the last 24 hours, have flash flood warnings, where the expiration time has been extended. That's important to get that information to your phone so you can get the latest updates. The app is absolutely free. Check it out. If you'd like to join us on Premium, the Captain Accurate Premium service focuses more on beyond the next 7 days. We've been talking about Mother's Day for weeks. We've been talking about Memorial Day weekend for weeks, and we're now into the early part of June, right? And into the hurricane season with some of the expectations and things we have been discussing at great length each and every day on Captain Accurate Premium. How do you sign up? You just hit the subscribe button on my Facebook page. You're also the first to see every forecast. I'm posting about 15 to 20 posts a day. So you don't post that much. I do. But you got to be a premium member, and it's coming by way of the same Facebook page. You're also getting more Facebook Lives, typically on a Sunday, help you prepare for the week ahead. If that's important to you, you also get fewer ads if you join us on Premium. Something you definitely want to try out. It's only 16 cents a day. That's not much. And if I'm doing 15 to 20 posts a day, and it's only 16 cents, it's like less than a penny a post. Yeah, almost, right? So my expectation is that you'll get a lot more information locally than you will anywhere else. So check it out, the Captain Accurate Premium service on Facebook. So very happy that you're here. By the way, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time.